Welcome everybody to season 5 of the Lavish Show. I'm so thankful that you're tuning in tonight to watch my show. I thank you for supporting me all these seasons. I really appreciate you. Don't forget to follow me on all social media sites. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel, Shira Stallworth, Creative Women Enterprises. I thank you. I love you. On today's show, we have a very phenomenal woman that's doing a job in the community like no other. She goes by the name of Miss Anna McMillion. She's an educator. She's a parent. She's an advocate for black males and youth. You do not want to miss this episode. So sit back and relax and enjoy the Lavish Show. It gets better and better. 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 Better, 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 better. It gets better and better. It gets better and better. It gets better and better. Welcome back to the Lavish Show. I'm so glad that you all are watching tonight. I have a phenomenal woman on the set tonight, and she goes by the name of Miss Anna McMillion. How you doing tonight?
I'm doing good, beautiful. How are you?
Oh, that's one thing that I love about her. She knows how to celebrate women. She celebrates people, but she is a pillar in the community. As I said before, I'm running for mayor of the city of Morris Point for 2021. And how I came across this woman, this great woman, I was at a city meeting and I heard her speak. And I was just amazed at what she said. And I began to say to myself, this lady is powerful. She has a lot to say, and she's a pillar in the community. So, Miss Anna, I just want you to let the audience know, who are you, where you from, and let us know, what's going on in your life.
Well, I'm originally from Morris Point. Have a lot of family roots from New Orleans.
Okay.
And so my grandmother has always been a civil rights fighter.
Wow.
And so I get a lot of my drive, my strength from my grandmother and my mom, who have shown me a lot history-wise here within the city. And as well kind of cultivated me to be the woman that I am today.
Okay.
I currently am working on my PhD.
Oh, wow.
And so I have a master's in project management and a bachelor's in international business and business management. I have certification as a parent leader.
Okay.
So there's quite a few things that I've kind of made sure I put my foot in to get a better and clearer understanding of how versatility can be of a significance in the work that I do.
Yes, yes, and you do have a lot of versatility. Upon meeting you, I work in Morris Point School District, the city that I live in, and, I was at a school board meeting one day, and you got up and did public comments, and when you did public comments, my eyes was like, oh my God, because you let the people know in the community what's going on in our school system, what's going on in the city of Morris Point, being a parent, and I loved it because not only are you an advocate for children, but you are a parent that have children too. Yes. So what gives you the boldness to stand up to do what you do and, to voice your opinion like that?
Well, I want to make sure that nothing ever changes with me. This is something I tell my son and my daughter. You always stand firm for what is truth. You never back down from it, regardless of whatever the situation is.
That's
right. At the end of the day, you're held accountable for the information that you give out to people. Mm-hmm. And so you want to stand on your principles. You want to stand on your character. You want to stand on who you are as an individual.
Right.
And so I love children. I have been in the public school system for, give or take, about 15 years.
Wow.
My daughter is 19. She's a college student. I'm very proud of her.
Wow.
And so, be it as it may, I've always made sure that I stayed as an active parent in their education. And so, be it as it may, I've been blessed to have, as they would say, both sides of the totem pole. I have a son and I also have a daughter.
Yes.
So,
yes.
you know, as a parent, there's a lot to learn. Girls
Right.
and boys are extremely different.
Yes.
And so, be it as it may, the things that I've gone through with her, I'm going through with my son, but his is more increased.
Okay. Yes. Yes.
So it makes me, you know, really push myself to get into that line to make sure that public school systems are adhering to what they should as it relates to the laws and the policies that govern them.
That's
from the
right.
state.
That's one of the things that I like about you is that you always quote the law, policies, things like that, and procedures. And that's something that I really admire you about. You talk about integrity, you talk about accountability. You know,
Right.
even in the campaign that I want to run, I want to be accountable. And we need people like you to hold leaders accountable.
Right.
And that's what I love about you. And you talk about your son being a young black male. Tell us a little bit about, you know, the young black males today. What do you want to see for them, and where do you think they're going in this generation?
Well, I think in 2019, where we are currently, it's not a good reflection. Being as a mother of a black male, there's an everyday struggle, especially within public schools, where the teachers and the administrators that you come in contact with don't share that same zeal that appreciation of, I love children, I love education, I want to see
Right.
them to succeed.
Right.
I see that creativity or that light in them. I know they can be a successful person.
Right.
Instead, you're seeing more of, I really don't want to be here. I'm on the same level with the students. That means when they socialize with the students, a lot of times, it's not from I'm an adult and you're a student. It's more so we're friends. And so that creates a lot of issues within the classroom
Right.
management issues, where there's a lot of behavior issues. And then at the same time, we have the issues within the communities, within the households, where there is not a good foundation that's actually there majority of the time for that child. And so when they come to school, that's when you start dealing with the behavior issues, and a lot of things start presenting themselves that you come across and you find those are the issues psychologically that the child is having to have to deal with.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. You said a mouthful, a mouthful. You know, when we come back, we're going to take a break right now. When we come back, a lot of y'all don't know, but it's a man that I know. He goes by the name of Mr. David Pittman, and he had a forum. It was an educational black forum with Black Lives Matter, All Lives Matter. And I had to go back and look through my pictures, and I said, Miss Anna McMillion was there. And when I heard her speak there, it's amazing how things come to a full circle.
Yeah.
And how I got to meet her again, meet her again, and be able to see who she was as a woman, a phenomenal leader in the community. So when we take this break, you will be hearing from a poetress by the name of Nishiana Hurd, Speak and Be Heard. She's going to be giving a spoken word to the community. So stay tuned, because we're getting ready to get into some good stuff.
Lately, I feel like the devil's been on my back, had my brain out of whack, tried to keep me from my God, but I ain't having that. So I turned around and I stepped to him and I hit him with the facts. I was like, look, Satan, it's been a minute since I've written. You had my voice, my tongue was bitten. You were holding my bite back so I don't bite back, tied up my words so I can't come right back, had me distracted like I was a kitten. But now I'm a lion, lying in the lion's den, and holy galore, my mouth ain't closed anymore. I can't be lying with sin, so I came to speak. Some say that I came to preach, now I came to defeat, put you underneath my feet. See, you think we cool as a breeze in Miami, but we ain't friends and we ain't shacked up, but my prayers are bringing the heat. Even when my prayer's silent inside of my prayer closet, they still roar. Oh, say, can you see I'm wild and free? Man, I ain't clothed anymore, adorned with oppression and confusion as I pray to God, asking for restitution, dressed in robes with holes and pockets that held retribution. Nah. See, you tried to keep me from my God? Oh, so you've chosen war? You calling me for your game? Well, I brought my Halo and you just a PS4. So we ain't compatible. We can't go toe to toe. I'm on a whole nother level. I got the W already. So I tell you what's next for you. No affection, boo, but I'm an O to your ex. So box. Satan is scared, man. Satan is shocked. So now who's on the defense? This saint will have you drowning down next to dolphins hit you with the Hail Mary of the word of God. So tell me now who's on the deep end. And those hits were on purpose, but you had an accident because you got nervous. So tell me now who's in the deep ends. But all jokes aside, I ain't come to play, son. Came to put you away, son. You weren't expecting that, were you? See, you didn't think I could conquer you? Look, I came with Jesus, so I came with freedom. The pits of hell may refer you, but my words defer you in Jesus' name. Don't make me hurt you. See, I came loaded with scriptures and verses because you had me wearing your rules like a Yeezus jacket. So I called on Jesus to jacket. Take it off me. No more silence. See, no more silence of the lamb. Satan wanted to jack me, but now I'm robbing sin. My halo is my cap. My bases are fully loaded. My bat is ready to snap. Crackle and pop. No Rice Krispie. See, God gave me these words. They hot and meant for popping. Just like crispy. I'm killing you, no cereal. But I'll leave your jaw drop, mouth shaped like Cheerios. Oh my goodness. Look how shook you is. You shaped and baked, laid out. I'm salty now. Just like chips be. Look, Satan, I cook up and serve out. Don't need no one to tip me, because God got my back. Assassination of Satan, I call out a hit, see? As long as Jesus is pleased, I'll stay strapped with the Spirit of God, just like a hip beat. And know Jesus peace, but my God gives me rest and peace, just like a hippie. Satan, I'll tear you to shreds and make you rest in peace, just like a rip beat. Don't mess with a king's kid, I'll leave you deceased. I'm not done. Call me Serena, because I'm steady bringing the racket. I don't play tennis though, but I brought my tennis shoes to crush the serpent's head, and now he's dead to me. And I got like 10 issues with what Satan said to me, because the devil is a lie. I said the devil gotta die, because he had me so unsung, so stung, I was swelled up inside, but no more mellow yellow jacket, just red everything. Blood from the Son of God, because he owns everything. I'm rolling with the king now. Every tongue confess and knee bow. I don't need to know how. I just know who. I'm telling what he bowed. See, my words are for his glory. He laid down his life for the people just like he did for me, and I believe it. I receive it. Not ashamed to tell the world I love Jesus. I know he works miracles, and I know that he makes a way. Look, I know that Jesus stays. And that's the real story.
Welcome back, everyone. I know you enjoyed that piece by Speak and Be Heard. I thank her for her voice in the community. So now let's get back to this hot topic on education. As a substitute teacher in the school district, you know, I go into many districts, I go into the classroom, and one of the schools that I enjoy subbing at is Morris Point School District, the elementary schools or middle schools or high school. And one of the things that really pricks my heart is when a student comes up to me and say, Miss Stallworth, you know, you do TV, you do music, you do all this. Why are you here teaching us in the classroom? I said, because I care. I love y'all. That's why I'm here. It's not about the money. It's not about who I am in the community, but it's about showing love. Because I know the Bible say through love and kindness, Jesus draws us, okay? He draws us. You know, and a lot of times, just to piggyback on what Miss McMillion has said, we see teachers in the classroom that don't care. We see teachers in the classroom that don't have classroom management. We see adults acting like children. And that's one of my pet peeves in the public school district or the school system. And I want you to touch on a little bit of that, you know, about the public school system. You know, I know you are more educated than I am on that, and I would love to have you in my campaign. to talk about education. So I just want to throw that out there. But anyway, so let's get on this public school system. Tell us and let the community know what we need to know.
Well, what I'd like to express is that with public school education, of course, be it as it may, we have to remember who we actually hire in the positions as it relates to the district as a whole, and then also coming to speak from administrators for each individual school itself. Those teachers that are encased into each one of those schools are held at a certain level of accountability as it relates to each one of those students that are in there. A lot of times certain schools are over-enrolled, they're overpacked in each classroom, to where majority of the time as it relates to African American students in those classrooms, they don't have the proper materials and accessories.
That's right.
As it relates to, materials that they need for them to work on, and then also having the necessary tools for the teachers available for them to teach. Many of the teachers a lot of times have not been certified. You may have a lot of teachers who spend a lot of time out on FMLA to where there's a point they're never in the classroom. So the child is never getting the academics that they need throughout the first semester or so of school. This in turns comes to that next term or next quarter where those students, when it comes to state testing, haven't had the necessary academic support from that first set. So from August to December, that's a very critical point.
Yes.
For all of these students to have an opportunity to come into a new school system, learn their principal, learn their assistant principal, learn whoever their teachers are, learn the policies that govern that school. What's their behavior levels? What are they supposed to do in the classroom? What are their expectations? It's a lot for every last one of the students to learn. And when they don't have the proper support from home, they don't have the support from the community or the churches, and they don't have the support from their own teachers or administrators, then this is when we come into the issues of behavior. And this is an area in which that for many years I've actually worked in the school system in dealing with those students who had behavior issues.
Wow.
And of course, sitting down and talking to my students that I've had, it was a lot of information that I learned.
Okay.
Because there were things that were being told to me that were confidential and private information, but when you sit into that position as an educator, when a child tells you I'm being abused, you have to report it.
That's right.
You can't keep it a secret. As much as you want to try to support that child, you have to do what's right. And at that time, you have to make sure that the proper authorities or those individuals are aware of what's going on with that particular child. We have a lot of children, especially here in Moss Point, that are truthfully, psychologically are suffering.
They are.
And, it's a real sad situation. But this is why I push so hard in wanting to make sure that I stay apart, even though my son is still here in the district.
Right.
But I still want to make sure that I stay apart of what's going on, because everywhere I go, no matter if I go to the grocery store or gas station or wherever, if my students see me, hey, Miss Mac, they call me quick, fast, and they'll run and they'll give me a hug.
Yes.
Because I've always made sure that I referred to them and looked at them as human beings.
That's right.
And that they also deserve respect just as much as I deserve respect.
That's right. And and one thing you point out, quality, qualified teachers, qualified substitutes, because you can have people go into the classroom that don't know anything and get in front of the children, and then the children get in a scuffle and things like that. One of the things I experienced a year ago at my daughter's school is that she had a substitute for the rest of the school year, from January to May. And my biggest concern was, did my daughter get everything that she needed to get in the fourth grade before going into the 5th grade. And that was a pet peeve of mine. That made me so upset, because there wasn't a certified teacher in the classroom. Right. Even if there was a substitute, at least, have some type of, educational background teaching these children. And, my daughter will come home and she'll say, well, Mama, I don't know how to do this. Mama, now here I am being the parent, the advocate, playing the teacher role, all this stuff. And so, that bothers me, and if we don't speak about it, nothing's going to be, get done.
Yes.
And, that's why I'm glad that you're on the show today, because you speak about, like, all lives matter. Black Lives Matter. How did that come about, with you talking about that, push for black males? Because we know black males do have a hard time in America, point blank.
Yeah.
So, I want you to touch a little bit on that, too.
Well, I will tell you, as it relates to black males in public schools, what I've learned regardless across the board. And, we don't like to have these conversations. Mm-hmm. But the fact of the matter is that there has to be a different approach of how we deal with black males. Mm-hmm. My son, who's 13, I will be the first one to tell you, he acts like a 13-year-old. Mm-hmm. But the teachers, regardless of the race, are so used to receiving children that have come from a very hard life, or a street life, to where when they see a child that's actually acting that age, they don't know how to accept that child. So it becomes an agitation to the teacher, and then all within that same system, then here comes the written referrals, because he won't stop talking. He won't sit down. He threw a pencil. He looked at her wrong. He got up out of his seat because he wanted to throw the tissue in the garbage can. He raised his hand, and I thought he was cheating.
Wow.
I've heard a lot of different instances in situations where, as it relates to black males, and I've looked at a lot of the referrals, I will tell you, majority of the students who came into my in-school suspension classroom were black males. I had more black males than I had black females.
Wow.
White males, white females. I've had black males to always outnumber when it came to behavior issues in the classroom. And the biggest issue that I found in regards to it was they didn't have the proper understanding of that child, and they were very defensive as a teacher.
Wow. And one of the things I do want to say is, even in the classroom, you must show love. You must be an example. Example yourself to the students. And, that's just a big major thing to me, as you said. And, as we wrapping up the show, I want you to speak from your heart. What do you want the public to know? Who is Anna McMillion? What are you trying to achieve in the community? Because you are a pillar in the community, and I love what you do. I celebrate you as a black queen.
Thank you.
My queens are out there and my kings, but I celebrate you, and I love what you do, because your voice is powerful, and people get intimidated. And you know what God told me? They should get intimidated because it tells your strength and what you've been through. So let the audience know, who are you? What do you want to project today?
Well, I just want to say to all the viewers, first I want to say thank you to Ms. Shira for inviting me on the show. But what I want to say is, take the time out. You're a parent, you're a grandmother, grandfather, you're a community pillar within the community itself, the church. Citizens, taxpayers. You don't have to have children in the school system in order for you to advocate for children across the board for better education. We are at a point here in this country where education does not matter. And when education starts falling, you're going to start seeing high increased rate of crime amongst young people, because they have nowhere to go and they don't know what to do. You have got to make a stance and make a change for the betterment of future generations. And me as Anna, I will truly tell you, I will never stop fighting as long as I live. I love children. I'm an advocate for education. I'm an advocate for my children. I'm an advocate for black males. I have a son, and every day I see him, I advocate even harder. He has experienced more things than what my daughter has.
Wow.
And so be it as it may, I don't want our children to give up.
That's it.
Because they're doing that at very early ages.
Yes.
And this is why we have the increased rate of suicide amongst young people here in this country. So again, I take my hat off to you. Thank you so much.
Tell them how to get in contact with you.
Stay active in your community. Education.
Tell them how to get in contact with you.
If you're wanting to get in contact with me, you can email me. My first and last name, ANNEMCMILLION@ymail.com. Or you can actually reach me at 318-771-6139. If I don't answer, leave me a voicemail message. A lot of times I'm in meetings, but I will make sure that I give you a call back.
Thank you, Miss Anna. I appreciate you being here. Audience, please book her for your events. Book her for public school speaking, motivational speaking. I'm telling you, this queen is powerful. You will see her on the campaign trail with me. Amen. All right. Thank you.
But joy comes in the morning light. It gets better and better. 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 Better, 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 better. It gets better and better. It gets better and better. You know one thing about you, you shine so bright. We got you shine so bright. You're a queen of mine. But you can show me right. So maybe you can fly high. Proverbs 31 better recognize. Verse 10, keep it real cause it's a trend. High heels, makeup, and it's lavish. Got the rubies and the diamonds on my wrist like passion play. I float like a butterfly, sting like a bee. The hands can't hit what the eyes can't see. Just game that I play when I'm moving on my ponies. Don't want none of this, put respect on it. I'm knocking down walls, taking territory. You better hold your peace cause I'm coming for you. Looking for my king in his kingdom. Hope he's ready for a queen in her queendom. A woman that feareth the Lord shall be praised. A woman that feareth the Lord shall be praised. Ladies, are you feeling alright? I'ma please lay your hands up high. You need to know one thing about you. How you shine so bright. Please how you shine so bright. You're a queen in my eyes. And Jesus shows you light. So maybe you can fly high. I'm chilling with my ladies tonight. We looking good and we feel alright. One thing that you need to know about us, why we shine so bright. We came from the Most High, who put the stars in our eyes. We stay fly, classy, elegant, and wear crowns of light. Real queens in the making, no time for this hating. If you know you're a queen, put your hands up in the air. Like yeah, 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 yeah. Like hey, 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 hey. Like yeah, 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 yeah. Like hey, 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 hey. Like yeah, 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 yeah. Like hey, 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 hey. Ladies, are you feeling alright? All my queens, throw your hands up high. You need to know one thing about you. How you shine so bright. Cause how you shine so bright. You're a queen, right? And Jesus shows you light. So maybe you can fly high.